And welcome to the first ever Aefl Fantasy Preview, fellas. And man, have we put a lot of work into this. As you can see, Tanner, Justin, and I have designed an entire playoff bracket of currently what is going on within the league with all the implications from today's games. But enough of my talking. Here's Tanner to go over what's currently happening in our league.
Welcome, fellas. I'm going to be discussing right now the current lay of the land in the league. Right now, we can officially eliminate one team from playoff contention before this week even concludes. And unfortunately, Tyler, that is you and your Raging Boners. Even with wins this week and next week and losses from a lot of other people, you still wouldn't be able to make the playoffs. Adam, you are literally on the bubble right now. If this were the NCAA tournament, you might be the last team in, the only team that has a chance outside looking in. It's slim, but if you win this week and you win next week and you get a couple of losses from some other guys, you could potentially still be in. So right now, you are the last guy in the league before we make cuts of the next people that cannot make the playoffs anymore. As for Johnson and Bush and helmet-to-helmet contact, you guys are also pretty much in Team Minivan situation. It's in your hands. If you win this week and next week, both of you should have a pretty good chance of making it. But as it stands this week, before these games complete, this is how it stands. And I'm going to run down through it right now. The number 8 seed would be Inglorious Bastards playing the number 1 seed, yours truly, Old Smuggler, the champ. The number 5 seed, Find a Black and Decker. Number 4, Newton's Law. Number 6, Liquor in Front, Poker in Back. Number 3, Former Child Stars. Number 7, The Dream Team. And number 2, the Grand Slam Breakfast Squad. Now, assuming these games this week don't have a major impact on it, this is where we would still stand. So by what I mean by that is if I win, if Dustin wins, if Barr wins, and if Justin wins, we're pretty much going to have the same setup for the first 4. The only thing that would change then is everything down below it. Right now, the scoreboard doesn't look too good for a couple of the teams, myself included. A lot of really tight games, a lot of tight projections. So the way this night plays out will have a big impact on where we go forward. But as it stands, this is the playoff picture, and this is where it's at if it ended today.
So there you have it, just from Tanner. There is the current playoff picture. Now, to discuss the implications from today's game, whether who wins and who loses and what it'll do to the playoff bracket, I'll hand it over to Justin Yates.
Thanks, Jace. Let's go over the big scenario for Kraft right now. If he wins and you have Ben and Will lose, that takes Ben out of the 8 spot and puts Johnson and Bush right here at the top. However, currently, Trevor and myself will already matched up with the 4 and 5 seeds. If he were to beat me this week, which it appears that he probably will beat me this week, it doesn't mean dick shit, Trev, because guess what? I go to 5 and you go to 4, and I still beat you in the playoffs. The other scenario we have, Will and Tanner right now are in a dogfight. If Will wins that, he secures his spot. Where is he at right here on the board? Actually, no, he'll
move to 7.
He'll move to the 7 seed with a big win this week, and even maybe secure that 7 seed next week with another win. Just one more of the playoff pictures that could possibly happen. And we'll hand over back to Jace to go over one more possible scenario.
Alright, so just like Justin said, if I'm able to win, I'm in the playoffs as of next week. But as you know, we still have 1 week to go after this week. However, though, if I lose, that means a couple different things. Brandon would then stay in the playoffs, but he would be tied with Will, who might possibly pick up the win. And based on points, then, it's going to be Will in the 7th spot and Brandon in the 8th seed. However, if Will loses, it will come down, and Ben loses, it'll come down to points, where Brandon will then keep the 7th seed with his win, and then Will take the 8th seed there from Ben just due to points. And then you throw in the fact that, just as Justin said, no matter what happens this week with Trevor and himself, it looks like they're going to secure a playoff matchup against each other. So someone there is going to have the 4 and 5 seed. And then Fichter as well, looks like you're going to stay around the 6th seed. And then what's really going to be interesting is to see where Old Smuggler and Dustin ends up, because that's going to possibly just come down to points. And let's not forget Barr, on the other hand, who looks like he's going to finish in the 3 seed due to points with him having more points than both Justin and Trevor. So guys, a lot to go into, a lot to watch in the next coming weeks, and the rest of tonight's games and Monday night's games could be interesting. I know I have a few Monday night players, and I think Brandon might as well. And then Will right now has Andre Brown scoring big points for him currently. Tanner still has the Broncos game. So much going on, so much to watch. And fellas, another surprise for you next week, as we will turn the show Drunk History into Drunk Fantasy. So look forward to that, as we're going to probably drink as much as we can at the cabin and to discuss some more fantasy football. But as always, guys, I'll talk to you later. Fuck you.